Hello everyone, it is I, and welcome to the Brumakian podcast, an epic sound review series where I can review anything, but not everything. On this show, I cover anything in entertainment, whether it is giant monster movies, anime, and video games. This is my review of Mothra vs. Godzilla, the 1964 edition. The background of this movie is going to be completely short, like really short. After the gigantic success, no pun intended, of King Kong vs. Godzilla, Toho wanted the King of the Monsters to fight King Kong again for the second time, a sequel called Continuation King Kong vs. Godzilla. Very unoriginal. But unfortunately they can't since Universal owns the giant monkey. So instead, Toho opted to have one of their own popular monsters to fight Godzilla instead. Enter Mothra. Mothra made her debut 1 year prior to King Kong vs. Godzilla, and she was a massive hit. So it would make sense to have these two fight against each other. Now, originally it was going to be a sequel to the original Mothra film, with most of the cast of that film reprising their roles and the fictional country Realistica to return. However, the movie's director Ishiro Honda changed a shitload of Sekizawa's script to accommodate his own version, as he normally does. On the subject of music, Akira Ifukube adapted elements of Yuji Kozeki's song, The Song of Mothra, into his music for the film, while also adding in his own original music with the goddess, such as The Sacred Springs. Finally, Mothra vs. Godzilla was released in Japan on April 29, 1964 as a double feature with the film Operation Anti-Hell. It sold 3.5 million tickets, and over the years, it sold 7.22 million tickets in Japan by 1980. Now, let's talk about its American release. Specifically, let's talk about Henry G. Saperstein, okay, and AIP. Henry Gahagan Saperstein was an American film producer and distributor born in Chicago, Illinois in 1918. In 1960, he purchased UPA, United Productions America. Later on, he was approached by marketers who were looking to release giant monster movies in the United States. Saperstein meets up with MPA, Motion Pictures of America, and finds out which company, or companies rather, that makes those types of films, i.e. Hammer Studios, based in London, and Toho. Henry purchased the American theatrical and television rights to Mothra vs. Godzilla and sold them to American International Pictures, AIP. AIP was a production label under Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, MGM. MGM decided to change the title to Godzilla vs. the Thing. The reason? To generate curiosity and anticipation of what Godzilla's enemy is going to be, even going so far as AIP hiring Reynold Brown to create a poster that censors Godzilla's opponent. Can't say it didn't work, as the film was released in the United States as Godzilla vs. the Thing on August 26, 1964, receiving mostly positive reviews from American critics. Now, with all that out of the way, here's the movie synopsis. Mothra's egg washes ashore and is claimed by greedy entrepreneurs who refuse to return it to her fairies. As Godzilla rises near Nagoya, the people of Infant Island must decide if they are willing to answer Japan's own pleas for help. Please, for the love of God, do not take too long. Anyway, after the 2-minute break, I will give you my final thoughts on the movie. See you until then. One of the best Godzilla movies? Oh, hell yeah. But, like always, it's not perfect. I like the theme of good and evil. Yes, it is done to death, but the execution is what matters, and the execution here is great. All of the characters in this movie are great as well. Archetypes, sure, but the actors and actresses are having a blast, and the dubbing is actually really good. Yes, I will admit I watched both versions, English and Japanese. It's the same damn movie, nothing is cut out and no music is replaced, with a few edits here and there. Speaking of edits, I love how in the AIP version the American Navy gets a shot at Godzilla with the Frontier missiles, even though they cannot aim for shit. I mean, come on, how hard is it to hit him? Speaking of Godzilla, I love this design, even more than the King Goji suit. Those eyebrows, man, so good. And I love how realistic he is, destroying things indiscriminately while also being a clumsy son of a bitch. I don't care about it being an accident. I love how his upper lips move like jowls. Mothra, good lord, she looks amazing. This is my favorite version of her alongside the original. She doesn't give a fuck if she's dying. She will go down fighting with middle fingers fully erect. Although she is basically a phoenix. My god, no pun intended, the effects are gorgeous to look at, although I can clearly see some of the wires left in there. However, it doesn't take away the enjoyment. And holy shit, the music is the dessert and it is fucking delicious. I enjoyed every single track in this movie, and I'm so glad that AIP didn't remove any of it. Thank you. My personal favorite track? I can name a few off the top of my head. Sacred Springs, Godzilla Advances, Plan A and Plan B Electrical Discharge Strikes. Overall, I enjoyed the hell out of Mothra vs. Godzilla. I will have to say that it is one of my favorite Godzilla films and Mothra films. And dare I say it, I think this movie is on par with Godzilla, 54 edition. Godzilla was a legendary film that kickstarted this franchise and accelerated a genre. Mothra vs. Godzilla is indeed one of the best ones. Which version do you get? It doesn't matter. Watch it on YouTube right now. It's free. Alright, that's enough kissing the movie's ass. Next time on the show, I will be reviewing a very strange one. I hear there's space jellyfish roaming around. If that's the case, I'm gonna need a bigger net. Until then, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of the Brumakian podcast. This has been Dimitri signing off, and hail to the king. Oh, and queen.